Right, good morning fish people, I'm Alan Norris from FishOn TV. It is Tuesday the 25th of May. Yes, 25th of May. Being a Tuesday, it means one thing only. It is the Old Boys Fishing Club match day. And today you will be joining us at Viking Fisheries at Pollington, and we are booked on the deer pond. And there are 24 of us, every single peg is taken. Actually, I've just thought now, I got a message last night, there'll be 23 of the 24 pegs taken. So a full lake, lots of pressure on it. Everywhere is still fishing, bloody awful. And don't get me wrong, I know some of you might have seen some results on there with big weights and what have you, but it certainly won't be peg for peg catching big weights, 100% certain. I did start a video last week at Bank End. But unfortunately, after about 5 hours, and I've not had a bite apart from foul hookers, which I lost every one I foul hooked I lost. I just thought, well, I'm not showing another blank, I'll just tell you about it. So basically I thought I'd do a reasonable area, middle of the lake, but every peg fished rock hard, as much as and it was almost a full lake. I think there was only 2 pegs spare on that lake, with 20 odd again, as much as like with 23 today. But when I looked at results again, Barbara Fisheries, Barbara Open, regular boys, week in, week out, £32 for Barbara. That's ridiculous. You can catch £32 in 20 minutes there. When they're actually having it, it's just in and out. That's how things are. And I know 1 or 2 people are saying, oh, you matchman, you're making excuses. Well, they're not excuses, it's just to sort of give people information of what's actually happening everywhere. And it's carp, unfortunately, prefer it warm. When it's not so warm and unpredictable weather, they switch off. Yes, you can catch silvers, but the people that are actually on the carp, if you're fishing for silvers, you ain't beating them. So that's why most people fish for carp, and that's what we're doing today. But there are some silvers in here. There are eyed, and there are a few barbel in Viking Fisheries. Again, some of the boys fished it on Sunday. £29 won the match. So looking at the weather that we've had, it was 8 degrees, got down to 8 degrees yesterday, absolutely siling it down. It's been doing it for over a week, on and off rain. May, I tell you what, for May, I've never known weather like it. I mean, last May, I looked like I'd been, even in lockdown, I looked like I'd been on holiday for 3 months. This year, I've still got my winter gear on. It's been awful, absolutely bloody awful. So I think today is going to be another very tough day indeed. But hey, I could be completely wrong, because these fish will switch on at some point. So we've got the draw to do. Again, we still can't, there's no point videoing the draw. It's not much fun. I get them to queue up, give them the peg number, so I'll just let you know where I've drawn and see what I think. So we shall see you in a jiffy. Over and out. Right, here I'm on peg 6. There's 15 minutes into fishing. I've not started yet. I've been getting all bits and bobs ready and moaning like hell because I take too long. But as you can see, I've got Brian Foddy at the side of me there, look. I don't move further down. We've got the old scowy fat bloke with a limp in corner. We've got Chris Wiles here. And then we've got Soz, who's that? That's Charles. And we've got Soz, you can't quite see him, and then Bob's up there. But as you can see, it's a full lake. We've got Leon over there. And Jeff over here, and we've got Kev the Paste Man here, and then we've got Mr. Incredible in the red shirt over there, and we've got Mick Smith and Tony, who's been moaning about me taking too long, saying, oh, he's setting mugging rigs up, and moaning about all different rigs I like to get set up. Actually, I ain't got a mugging rig set up just yet, but if I do see something, I can always change to it anyway. Right, peg 6. I'll tell you what I have got set up. Here's where I'm fishing. I've got a top 2 and 2 just in here, in the light bit. Felt tip on top of my float there. Plumb that up, it's about 4 foot. And then as we go out down the middle here, it's weird, it's as if there's like a log or a shelf that goes right down the middle, and it drops off deep there and drops off deep there. So I'm going to go for the maggot approach here. A nice margin down here that's quite deep, about 3.5, 4 foot nearly. And then on there, what I'm going to do there, there's about 5-inch difference in the two rigs I've got. I've got one further forward, slightly deeper, and I'm going off the drop off on this shelf on the left hand side. I can also go to the right a little bit if I wanted, but I quite like the feel of that one there. Brian thinks it might be a log. And then I'm going right up to the reeds, and I'd say it's about 4 or 5 inch shallower. That's how I'm going to tack that over there, and I'm going for a meat. I've got hemp and meat. I'll just show you what I've got here, look. So that's what I'm going to be feeding. I can even try it on hook if I want. That's what I'm going to be putting on the hook. I can try whichever. Hemp there, ground bait for a method feed and margins, some micros, and dead reds for down the middle, and in the margins. Now I'm going to take it pretty delicate to start with. I'm going to have to get my mugging rig because I've just seen one. Damn it. Right, so I'm not going to really feed anything to start with. Have a little sort of dob about first, and then I might start introducing a bit of bait. It's been very, very funny times, so that's my plan. Let's see if we can get anything. But I'm just looking in Chris Wiles' peg there. There's 2 or 3 carp knocking about there, so he's got a few fish knocking about. Right, that's my plan. Let's put it into action. I'll see you in about an hour, because I think I've told you about the batteries on the wireless Rode microphones. They last about 5.5 hours, but I like to give it plenty of time. So that's the plan. Let's get in, let's get a few fish caught. Right then folks, we're an hour and a half in. I've got about 19-20 pounds. I know I said I wasn't going to mug, but as soon as I switch, oh the meat's coming. I know I said I wasn't going to be mugging, but when I turned the camera off when I first had a quick chat with you, 1 or 2 fish started showing. So all I've done, I've fed the short line with some maggots, and all I've done so far, I've had no feed, and I've just been just dobbing the piece of meat about, and I've had 4 or 5 small carp for about 19-20 pounds. And Chris has seen what I was doing next to me, and he's actually got his waggler out, and I'm not sure whether he's using pellet or whatever he's using. He's had a couple on the pellet waggler as well, and he's casting it out, just leaving it and casting around it. I've heard Brian's had 1 or 2. He's lost a couple as well. Leon's had 1 or 2. I'm not sure who else has had some over the other side, but Bob, I think Bob and Soz, or all to the left, sort of 9, 10, 11, 12 are usually like favoured pegs, and they're catching up there as well. I've just heard Jeff say, have you had 50 pounds now? That's a bit of a joke, but I'm pretty sure that they've had some fish, quite a few, because I've seen a few elastics out, but the reason it's been an hour and a half since I've checked in is because it's been absolutely siling it down. It's not been nice at all. And I'm getting them either close to the reeds or just away from the reeds. At the minute I'm just away from the reeds, and then I just edge closer to them. And sometimes I've just left it for about a minute, and then it's gone under. Sometimes I've had an instant response as I've been like dobbing it about. But yeah, I can't complain. Quite happy with the way it's going so far, and I was thinking 50 pound might win it today, but there we go. Didn't really have to strike to that, it just took it, and that was it. It was where the elastic come out. They are usually quite aggressive takes, but what's happened is I can't undo my whole section where I'm really wanting to undo it, because with the wet the suction, it won't come undone, so it's something I'll have to do with one of the lads a bit later on. A bit of a technique to do that to get it undone, but it's a bit of a pain. I have to reduce my landing net size because that's been getting in the way. And they absolutely love, I do remember here, they love going under the platforms here. And with the brolly being in the way, I can't stick my landing net down to stop them from doing it, because it hits the top of the brolly. But I'll tell you what, they've been really scrapping hard as well. So no feed at all. I think I mentioned I was going to probably start it very negative and just see what's happening. I think I mentioned I was going to fish on the bottom, but at the minute, that's the quickest bite I've had. At the minute I don't see any point. I might as well just keep mugging it about, dobbing it about, left and right, straight in front of me. I'll keep feeding the maggot line and hope I get one or two on that line as well. But they're scrapping for like 3-4 pounders. They are daft scrapping. Really giving it some jip. No feed at the minute. Really does feel like winter fishing. As you can see, that's all I've got on my landing net at the minute. It is a bit tricky, so I'm having to wait till they come right in. Just because the side I've got my brolly on, it's in the way all the time. There's a fish come belly up on my right hand side, but I couldn't get my landing net to it. And it's going into the left, and they'll come towards this bloody platform in a minute. They always do. I keep trying to kid them that I'm not pulling, and then lift them up, and hopefully see if it comes up. As you can see, it's going for the platform now. It's what they do here. So yeah, shortest landing net I've ever used. What's it, about 2 metres, 1.5 metres. I know it's not raining now, but it's absolutely been siling it down. Not heavy, it's just never stopped. That fine wet stuff. It's a gate saying that, isn't it? Well, he is a little bit big, he might be about 5 poundish. Get that, I'd be able to get him now, but I'm going to hide him in. There we go. Just so it makes it a bit easier. Been saying he wants more thumbnails with fish. I always hold for one fish up at least every session, so I think he's been missing it. So come on, Edley, sort yourself out. Here's another one. I don't want to drop it. There you go. That's for the thumbnail. So about £4, £4.5 I think he probably is. So that puts me up to about £23. And that's all I'm doing. It's just steady away at the minute. So I just thought I'd give you that little update. There is 1 or 2 fish being caught, more than I actually thought there would be. I've heard them moaning a bit on the other side. And what I'm doing is, it's a 6mm piece of luncheon meat, no feed. I'll show you while I'm on. A little cube. A nice one that's not split. Shove that through. Like that. Hook the band. There we go, look. Shove that down. Unhook it, and there we go. That's on a band, and the reason I've done that, I have got them with stops, is I can also put maggots in there, I can put pellet on there, I can put a wafter on there, a few alternate baits, so there you go. Dead simple. Right. Update shortly. Right, I've not had another bite. I tell a lie, I have on the mugging rig, I missed that one. But Chris has probably had 3 more, I think. But the bites on the mugging rig shallows, it has dried up. He's just had one. I think he's got about 9, albeit I think they might be a little bit smaller than mine. I think he's certainly beating me. He's probably 5 or 6 pounds, 7 pounds in front maybe. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Brian's not had any more. They're getting one or two on the other side, but it's just gone dead. It's fishing as hard now as what I thought it was going to be all day. I think we've been fortunate, well I've been fortunate to get them few, and Chris is definitely doing okay. I'm not sure how, Soz says he's had 12 carp. He lost one and all. Nobody likes to see that. So I don't know how many Soz has had, and Bob. Catching 1 or 2 eyed up there. I keep seeing a couple of silvers coming out. I've had nothing short on the maggot. I've tried the meat on the deeper line. I'm going to go back out. I have catapulted a few pieces of meat out there, just to see if I could create a bit of interest on the mugging rig, but not overkill. Just 2 or 3 pieces. And even though I did see a swirl when I put the mugging rig in, you get a few liners. They're not really having a go. So I've just had a little flick with the method. I've had one tight up to the reeds. I've just gone to the left hand side about a yard short, just off the shelf. Just have a little quick look. I have done okay on method feeder here, and like in margins on method feed I've done alright as well, but I've just put a bit of bait down there. How long was left? Just put a bit of bait in my margin. It's 1:15. So we finish at 3:45. I'll probably re-top that up and then I'll go on it in about an hour. I've refed the maggot line, and the only line I've not tried is tight up to the island now with meat. I'll probably drop a bit of hemp in with that as well. That's the next line. Bit of a breeze turned up. It keeps raining on and off, and when this sun goes in, I'm wondering why I've got my coat on. It's bloody cold. It is cold. But yeah, it's fishing quite difficult. I think if you end up with £50 a day, I think you'll be in the money from what I can see so far. But you never know. There could be a boatload of fish caught in the margins later on. But it does feel like a bit of a winter's day fishing again, with how difficult it is. I know Jeff's struggling. Leon's had 1 or 2. Oh, there we go. Oh, I just pulled out. Now, was that a liner or was it a bite? Didn't feel like it was connected to anything. Could have been a liner, that. But that's where we are. Just keep plugging on. I'll have another little flick there. You never know. Don't know whether it just didn't quite get it right or whether it was a liner. Don't know. But it certainly pulled it straight round. Right, that's your update. Let's keep plugging. Let's see if we can get a few more fishies. Come on, the carps. Right. Nothing on the tight line to the far bank. And I noticed Chris started catching in his margin, and Brian had one short on maggot. Just gone on the maggot line that I've been feeding, that I've not had a bite on yet. First footing, and I've hooked into this. It's the first bite I've had for ages. Chris must have about 10 or 11 fish now. He's had 2 out of there, so he's got to be there. So I'm not seeing anybody catching it. Oh. The brolly blowing all over. It's getting blustery. First fish for a while. Little stocky, look of it. About £2 or so. Maybe a little bit more. There we go, look, a little stocky metacarp. Looks like it's got a bit of spawn in it actually. So I'm up to now £25. I reckon Chris has got about 30 odd, 35. if I'm guessing. Now let's get back out there with 3 dead reds. I've been putting ground bait and maggots out there. In fact, I'm just going to refeed my margin. Chris has been catching 1 or 2 there, and he's big potting as well. I'm not in a big pot. And I put quite a few dead reds in. I like to think it doesn't pull them up too much maggots. So there we go. It's not a big pot, it's like a medium pot, and it's not totally full. Down in this margin down here, a nice flat margin, and I have fished this peg before and I couldn't get anything on the pole, but when I chucked a method feeder down it never started going round, but I'm hoping to get them on the pole this time. Very strange. So 3 dead reds, cab pot full of maggots. It was in for about 3 minutes, I reckon, 3 or 4 minutes. Nice little bite. I've got it dotted right down. Black tip on it because it is a little bit, I can see it beautiful, the black tip. But yeah, again, just noticed that it wasn't, nobody's actually fishing out on the far bank. Even though I've spooked a fish out there, I've noticed that they've started catching a bit closer in. And I have kept trying it periodically throughout the day and had nothing. Well, that was the first put in. Let's just hope. Oh, we don't like spilling maggots. It's not far away from where I want it anyway. But this wind is definitely getting up. Blowing it all over even just there. Just kick it to the left slightly because it is fairly flat there, so I'm not pulling it into a slope or anything. Just let that sink. Let's just have a look. We'll see if we can see if it'll go under while you're on. I doubt it because it's been pretty bites out coming left, right and centre, to be honest with you. Not happy where that's sat, that's not sat right, that. I'll do that again. Now that's better, that's sat perfect. But yeah, it's been a tough day as suspected. I think Chris noticed what I was doing. He started using a proper mugging rig. So he tried a few on the waggler, got a couple there, but he had quite good success on the... I know people say it's shallow, it is shallow fishing, but he was just sort of dobbing it about. If you saw a fish, try and put it in front of it, but the fish that you see have not been going for it. It's been the fish that you can't see, you just keep dobbing it up and down. And the bites are unbelievable. Great bites, very aggressive. With your fishing shell, it's just an almighty splash. Mighty splash. And it's fish on. Oh, bit of a gust. It's not plain ball, is it? It's sat lovely. Looks like it should go under. No, and I had nothing on the method feeder apart from liners, so there's fish definitely swimming up and down. They're certainly on the move a little bit more. So let's just hope we get 1 or 2 decent fish in the margins. And there are some nice fish in here. There's like 10, 12 pounders in here. But apparently he's put quite a few stockies in. Right, that's not going to go under. Oh, hold on a minute. Was that an indication? Or is it my eyes? Must be my eyes, right. That's your update. I just saw a bit of movement over there. About 5 or 10 minutes after I spoke to her, I'd not had another bite on the maggot. And I went with the mugging rig. And it's going crazy. I don't know if it's foul hooked or what this. The float shot right up the line. Absolutely balmy. It was about the third putting. As you can see, the line's going to come up. See the float. It's miles away and it was only a foot deep. That it's gone straight through the reeds, pulled my float right up, so I'll have to check the rig as well. I'll be fairly gentle with this. Oh yeah, just didn't quite. There we got it. Got him that time. Can't believe it's only that big. It's about 3 or 4 pound. Set off like it had been on. Definitely on Guinness or steroids or something. There you go, another carp on the mugging rig. Yeah, I just noticed a bit of movement over there. There's a bit of hemp down there and a bit of luncheon meat. I'll just check that rig. All the shot. And I just noticed a bit of movement, so I thought I've got to have a little flick in there. And I think it was about the third or fourth flick in. And it went straight under. They're really, really aggressive bites. It's great fun. That line feels okay. I'm just checking it and resetting the rig. Yeah, it feels okay. Sometimes when it can go through reeds, it can fray your line, so just to give it a good check. The hook length seems okay, so there we go. I'll put £3 on for that. I'm definitely behind Chris. 2, 3. Leon started catching 1 or 2. He's just got a nice one there, looks about £5 or £6, so well done, Leon. Been mighty today. He'll love me saying that. Anyway, owner today was just saying, they were telling Soz he thinks he ought to have a golden peg. He'll give it to Soz every week. Soz says, why? He says, well, he'll never get one, will it? He didn't like it. You can imagine what he said when I mentioned that to him. Right, over and out. Let's get back in. Right, no more dobbing, but there were definitely fish knocking about. So I flicked a little method into that little hole there. And I actually landed it on that shelf I told you about that. I don't know, it seems like it's about 8 inches across. It looks like a log, but it's not a log. Must be just where the contours of it. And I put it onto there, into the shallow bit. And it's gone round after 4 minutes, so Brian's getting one or two. He's on a nice bream. Yeah, they're going crazy hooking to one of these. I mean, you think the foul hook just out, they're absolutely berserk when you hook into them. Just seen him, he's really trying his best there. He's trying to get onto the platform again. They just love it under the platforms here. He's trying to go under it again. Trying to go under the platform and he swam into the net virtually. Another one about £4-ish. go. I've not gone into margins yet, and we're on 2:30, an hour and a quarter to go. So Chris is he's been in his margin. He's not had anything. I'll probably refeed that just now. I'll go on it in about 15 minutes. So there we go. I'm up to 32. I still think I'm behind Chris, so we'll see how we get on. But I think they're catching down there, but I've not been able to keep my eye on them really. So there we go. Gone in again. And Chris is bagging on the bomb and pellet. He's not letting me catch him up at all. I think he's getting these. This looks a bit of what he's got now. So to the £2 stockies. So he's had 3 and 3 chucks. And I've had 2 in 3 chucks. So it's close between me and him. Again, we don't know how Bob and Soz are doing, and they're in the favoured pegs down there. They're renowned for doing quite well. So let's have another quick look in there. Definitely due to win the margin now. So put 2 on for that. That's £34. And like I say, I think if you've got 50, you've got to be in the money today. But, you know, don't know how all the other guys are doing on the other side, and I don't know how they're all doing to my left really, apart from Chris. And I would say Chris is beating me at the minute. He's doing well. He's casting in, and within 3 minutes his rod's flying round. Mine's taking a bit longer than that. So he's had 3 fish to buy 2. And it's already in front, so there we go, that's your update. Just won't let me catch him up, will he? I'll get back in. We'll see if we can get some more. Could just do with 1 or 2 slightly bigger. The last one that I've just had there was right up against the island, but just before I keep coming back with a lot of rubbish on my feeder, so just gone a little bit short, probably about a foot away from the island there. There's still fish milling about because the one earlier I had a little bit more this way. Anywhere around there. It's quite shallow there as well. And let's just hope that goes round. But it's like bomb and feeder. I'm catching, but I'm not catching as quick as him. I could make a quick change to a bomb, but we'll see. I'm hoping. Anyways, I'm not saying it. I'm hoping to have a few out of this margin, but I'm sure he is as well because he's been big potting. Whether that's the right way, I've put 3 lots of feed down there. That last since 1:15, so that lasted an hour and 15 minutes. Let's hope they've moved in on it. I could certainly do with 2 or 3 at least, I think, to catch him up. Right, there we go. Just got in. Right then, fisher people. I knew it was going to be hard. I said about £50 will put you in the money. I'm just getting the results, and I was exactly right. I knew it was going to be tough. Apparently, Lindholm's fished its socks off yesterday. So well done, Lindholm. Right, so at least the signs of fisheries on the up. Right, 23 of us, full lake, absolutely chock-a-block. One spare peg. I left number 2 out, give number 1, peg number 1 lots of room. It can be a bit iffy on its day, it can be great, but it's been iffy all round, I think, if I had to be fair. I drew peg 6, as you saw. I wasn't going to mug, and then I noticed in Chris's peg and Brian's peg there were quite a few fish moving about. I'd not seen any in front of me, and then I did see one, but there seemed to be to my left and right. There were quite a lot, especially to the left. I couldn't poach, put it that way, just a bit too far. So I've decided to just go out mugging, and I've caught the majority of my fish like that, on meat, mugging meat. And meat, I like meat because it does sink really slow. I think I showed you how you put it on. You can do that, or you can use a quick stop. I like to do it like that when I'm mugging, because you can put maggots on, pellets on, wafters on, anything you want. So I had 1 carp short on maggots. I lost 2 in the margin at the end, which has cost me a few quid. Didn't have them on for very long. Don't know why the hooks pulled out. Hooked into them, nice bite, hooked into them, set off, hook just pulled out within sort of 2 or 3 seconds. Can't really complain, it can happen. It's just how it is, things like that. It can just happen. So bit disappointed, because that would have definitely put me in the money. It would have put me right up there, actually. Probably just one of them, because they were decent sized fish. Well, they felt like decent sized fish, but I must admit those 4-pounders didn't have to put a scrap up today. So a pretty simple match for me, that, really. I had 2 long lines, one in a slightly deeper water, and that sort of, I don't know, it shallowed up and then went deep to right, and shallowed up and went deep to left as you're going out, and it stuck out about a yard or so. I think that's a clump of weed. Because when I tried bomb, and I'll tell you why I tried bomb, because Chris were catching on the bomb, so I thought I'll change it to bomb. Did it exactly like him, but every time I brought it in, it had a clump of weed around it. So I think that's where it is there on peg 6. So just when you're plumbing up, that's where it is. Keep to the left or right of that. Meat's been the way for me. Dead reds I've had 1, and I've hooked into 2 in the margins. As I said, the deck rigs on meat towards the far bank has just not worked. I had two bites, but just didn't work. So, but that's enough of me anyway. Still enjoyed it. Great day's fishing. Bit frustrated I didn't end up with those last couple of fish right at the end, especially when you've primed it. Would have put me in the money. Let's get on to the results. Let's see who the mightiest fisherman is today. And in 5th place with £36.66, I just couldn't keep them coming, winning absolutely diddly squat, me. So as you see, £50, couple of decent fish. I wouldn't have been far off. In 4th place, peg 13 end peg, the Maggot Man. Well done, the Maggot Man. What a mighty fisherman you are. Well done, son. I'm pretty sure he might have been on pellets, but Maggot has been doing okay today, so maybe he's caught a maggot. I didn't get to speak to him. So well done, Maggot Man. Ian Roebuck, his real name. In 3rd place, it's the lovely, horrible bloke. He drew an absolute flyer. Peg 9's a great peg. £43.30. So what a mighty fisherman you are, Saws. As much as you know, I hate saying that. Well done, son. Told me to bring my fishing head on next week. In 2nd place with £43.50. He was on peg 9, Saws. On peg 14, pretty consistent angler, I must say. £43.50. Simon Hudson. So well done, Simon. What a mighty fisherman you are. Don't know what he's caught today. And in 1st place, to my left, he definitely had a fair few fish in front of him there. He's caught quite a lot on the bomb. I think I mentioned it, and that's topped his weight up. A couple in the margins at the end, and he's ended up in 1st place with £52.44. So Chris Wiles, you are this week's, oh boys, Mightiest fisherman. Well done, son. That's a decent weight today, because it has fished tough. Right, last week we fished at Bank End. I didn't record that. I wish I had done, because I didn't have a bite until the last 3 minutes, and I caught 6.5 pound in the last 3 minutes, which I thought were quite funny. And I actually checked the footage out. It would have been a decent video. Come absolutely nowhere. It fished awful, to be fair. And Mick Baker won the lake with £36.36. So well done, Mick, for last week. What a mighty fisherman you are. And Mick Smith was in second place with £35.76 off a decent peg 21. Renowned area, and all the fish seemed to come from that side of the lake. It was an awful day for me. Just a foul up to 4 and lost everyone, and that was fishing shallow on the pellet waggler. It's not the fishery, it's just the way the fishing is at the minute. So well done, Mick Barker, for last week. I just thought I'd get that one in. I wish I'd recorded it, because I thought it were pretty funny that I caught 6.5 pound in 3 minutes and not had a bite all day. Right, next week I'm going to see if I can get Moorfields Farm. If I can get that, we'll see on the bank there. I hope you've enjoyed the insights to Viking Fishery on the deer pond on what I think's been quite a difficult day, especially with it being chocker. And if you do like my videos, don't forget, folks, it's absolutely free to subscribe. Click the subscribe button and click the notification bell. You will get all our videos as we upload them, and a thumbs up would be very, very nice. So until next time, thanks for watching, folks, and fish on, guys, and we'll see you at Moorfields Farm.